Yes, yes, yo, we are back, CFRU 93.3 FM, and we've got the man himself, Maestro Fresh Wes, on the phone. What's good, brother?
I'm feeling great, man. God is good, Meister's nice, you know what I mean? I feel real blessed, man.
That's good, that's good. Whereabouts are you at right now?
I'm in Toronto right now. I'm just about to head out to the East Coast because I'm filming this TV series called Mr. D. For CBC, so I'm doing that. You know, we film in the summertime, and I'll be getting ready to do some touring too as well with the new project. So it's going to be a pretty eventful summer for me. You know.
That's good. That's good. I know I got some invites for a show that you're doing in Toronto coming up soon at 30:30, I believe, right? In like a month or so.
Yeah.
Keeping it rocking and rolling, man. That's good. So how's it feel to have the album out now?
Man, I feel blessed, bro. I feel blessed. I've been well received. People checking for me still, you know, and it's a good thing when you're still excited about it after such a long time. You know what I mean? So it's just been overwhelming to me. To me, this is my best album, and I say that because it's not just because of me. I say that because of me and the artists who made the time to help me make it, and the producers. And everybody. I've never made an album with such a collaborative effort before. So, like, I'm the least talented person on the whole album, you know?
You got a good way of bringing it together, though, to produce a really solid hip-hop sound, though, definitely. I got to say, I took the album in, and there's some banging joints on there. Like, I kept going through each different track. I'm like, hey, this one's going to be my favorite track. Next track comes on. I'm like, oh, no, that's going to be my favorite track. No, oh, no, next one, no, that's the favorite track. I don't know what I'm going to settle on right now, but the whole thing is it's a really well put together album, man, for sure.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And I went through that same problem too with the album, you know what I mean? So that's why those tracks made it and stuff like that. And a couple tracks didn't make it just because of I didn't like the way I sounded on certain things, you know. I got like big up to my man Shad K. He was dope. Yep. We did this joint called Praise the Lord. I didn't get a chance to remix it. He sounded awesome. I didn't like the way I was like sounding on it. My man Jordan Croucher as well. We got a song called Underestimated. Yeah, that's another joint that didn't quite make it just because he sounded great, but I didn't sound great on it. And I think a part of it is I got to be pleased with how I sound too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Especially when I'm working with these great artists, man. So I think everything else is. I mean, that's how it goes when you do collaborations, and then you got to put like a level of it's done on it. And after 18 songs, I think that's kind of cool. You know.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely a full project, man. I see a lot of people releasing these little like 7-8 track CDs here and there, and I'm just like,
Well, yeah, but you know what? It makes sense though. Now this is a different era. Like me and you, we from the era of the physical, but right now we dwelling in the era of the digital. You know, and things are done differently, not from how we came up when we eat, sleep, we breathe vinyl. We need the vinyl, not just the but we need the vinyl. You know what I'm saying? Because we're actually touching the history. We're touching everything. You know what I'm saying? It's beyond just the music. It's about the depth and the range of that music, or with samples and you're touching a record. You're not just touching the MC. You're touching Al Green as well. You know, you're touching James Brown as well. You know, there's a part of that's been disconnected. But it is the way it is. Things change. We went from Betamax to VCRs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the future. It definitely is the digital age, man. I've been watching some of these TED Talk videos on just this new technology that's coming out, and it's freaking me out, man. Some crazy stuff, but it's actually exciting too because we can do some pretty cool stuff as far as, especially in the studio and stuff like that, how easier it is now for a lot of younger MCs to be able to put out a project and get received on the internet now through means of YouTube.
I mean, there's a lot of
downside. There's pros and cons to everything. Yin and yang.
Unfortunately, a lot of cats aren't getting the chance to really get ready as artists.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of the technology, they can get their music out, but doesn't necessarily mean you're fine-tuning your skills and owning your skills
That's
to
so
be
true.
an artist. You feel what I'm saying? So there's certain things, trust me, like I put out my first video, I'm showing you. It was called I don't even date myself, but it was 1988, bro. I was 19 at the time, and it was like I didn't know about Video Fact. I didn't know about grants. I didn't know about, it cost me $5,000. But I shot at my high school, and it got low rotation on Much Music, so I thought that was awesome. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's a big thing when you're 19, man. You're like, yo, I got a video on Much Music.
But the thing is, though, here's the thing, though. Like, I was MCing since I was like, well, I wrote my first rhyme at 11, but then, you know, at 15, I was already on CKLN, so I was owning my skills.
Yeah.
For like a long time before I was ready to do certain things. So with the technology right now, you know, kids are 10 times more advanced than we were back then. But at the same time, it'd be great to know that the skills, they're taking time to really, you know, like there's a saying I got, don't make records, make history. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times if you don't have the skills down pat and really understand the genre of music you're doing, there's a lot of times you won't get that opportunity to really be the true artist you can possibly be. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the downsides with that. But, you know, I'm learning from these young cats, and you know, I'm in the studio with, like, my man's like Rich Kid, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Shout outs to Rich Kid.
Like yeah, man.
What up? Yeah, no, there is definitely a lot of MCs that really need to take some time to really craft this skill a little bit more, and also pay attention to the history, I think, of hip-hop as well. Just like anything, any career path that you would want to get into, right? Whether it's like working on cars or working as a teacher or something like that, you kind of want to know the history of what you're getting into. So I think a lot of MCs need to take the time to really, you know, ask their friends, you know, what CDs you got, man, what CDs you got, and then kind of like go through the catalogs and research and listen to all that good hip-hop that's out there.
Yeah. You know what I mean? The best MCs are the best students, man. You know what I'm saying? Drake's a student, man. Like, he'll tell you, you know what I mean? Eminem is a great student of hip-hop, you know what I mean? And I've always prided myself to be a student as well. That's why, like, I'm just learning from younger cats. You know, like, I'm learning how they do their recording, how they do their thing. And, you know, obviously I got my history, my experience too, but there's always room for growth. So, you know, being in the studio with my man King Rain, you know, is dope. Mm-hmm. Or being in the studio watching, like, Classified, how he does what he does. Or, like, different artists and different producers. That's helping me grow as well, you know?
For sure. And it's inspiring too. It's inspiring, right? You see other people around there doing the same thing that you're doing, and it kind of pumps you up.
Yeah, like Adam Bomb, he crazy. Like, he did his joints like
shout outs to Adam Bomb.
Yeah, you know, I'm like, I don't know how he did that. Then it's like, it takes me forever. And then me and Socrates had this rhythm on the album called Stranger, and it took me forever to write my bars. And he produced it, wrote his verse, and sang on the chorus as well. Like, he wrote the chorus, and I'm like, it just took me forever. It took me forever to do my verse. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy with it. I think I held my own with Big Sox on that rhythm. You know what I mean? So
for sure. My favorite joint on the new album, I think, is the Born Originals track.
Yes!
It's just so heavy, bro. The cuts on that. Like, I'm a big fan of, you know, the golden era 80s, and like, I'm all about the cuts and stuff. That joint just like hit me hard, bro. It's just like Manifest.
You want to hear something? Like, yo, I talked to my man Scam. Scam produced.
Oh yeah, Scam's dope, man.
Yeah, for all you who don't know, who listening, my man Scam, he produced Concrete Mob's Boiling Point. And Scam is like one of my DJs and one of my best friends, but I was like, I didn't want him to hear the joint until it came out. You feel me? So I kept on saying, yo, dude, track 17 is dedicated to you, man. Track 17. So when he phoned me back and said, like, oh my goodness, that he loved that too, it was like, yeah. It's a good thing, man. Yeah, that man, kid is nasty too. That MC is ill. That kid from Vancouver.
Yeah, who was that on there?
His name is Edge.
Okay.
He's from Vancouver, man. I heard him online with bars, and you know, I'm like, this kid is incredible. I'd love to have him on the record, because that's one thing that was missing. I mean, we had vanguards on it, like Chemo from Rascals. He produced the Sam Roberts joint with his squad, but I didn't have any MC from Vancouver on the album. So when I heard him spit, I'm like, this kid is incredible, man. His lyrics is just crazy. So we got that beat, and then we just went in, you know.
That's good. No, it's definitely my favorite joint on the album. I think it was hard to select though. Like, they're all pretty good. I mean, the last one, the legendary one's pretty solid too. But like every single one of them. And I know the Reach for the Sky, that one was big. Like, as soon as that one came out, I was just like, download that, listen to it every day.
Wicked. No, I'm happy with it, man. I'm pleased. The fact, number one, I'm still here. You know what I mean? Number two is it's a really dope album, and I'm very proud of being, it's one thing a lot of times, it's like Chuck D from, told me one time, it's like, he wrote the foreword for my book, Stick to Your Vision. Mm-hmm. And I was honored for him to do that, but I felt blessed that I actually gave him the copy of the book and I signed it for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I actually gave Chuck D a signed copy of my book, which he wrote the foreword to. And one thing he said was congratulations. Another thing, too, that resonates with me is the fact that a lot of people have books that don't make it out the closet, and it never comes into fruition. Mm-hmm. And that goes with albums, that goes with songs.
Yep.
So that's why, like, when up-and-coming artists do something, and, it's important that we give them the incentive to continue trying to, go forth and forward with it, because you never know what that's going to turn into. So
definitely a lot of artists that blew up off projects that they never thought were going to, catch the way that they did. It's just something that resonates with the people. So the biggest thing is just getting that work out there. And I think the biggest reason a lot of people don't put it out there is, fear of judgment, fear of what somebody else gonna think, look out, like, and at the end of the day, I think hip hop is all about just being yourself. So as long as you do that, man? You're safe.
Cadence Weapon.
Yes.
He's a dope artist. He's an artist, man.
Yes.
That kid is an artist. He doesn't change. He's fearless, man. That dude will come with the craziest, unorthodox style that's just like ill, man. It's different. Like, why do we got to conform? Why does everybody, especially from Toronto, why do we got to sound like we're from Texas? We don't got to do it, man. We don't got to do it. We got our own story. You know what I'm saying? And it's art. If you can find a way of doing your own thing and being creative, some people will hate it, but there's a good chance people will dig it too, and you're going to feel good for the fact that, you did your thing. I came out with a tuxedo and a bow tie, brethren, back in the day. And trust me, in the time when hip-hop was forming itself in Toronto, a lot of cats wasn't feeling me. Trust me, I could care less, man. I could care less. That was my mentality, and it still is, because a lot of people just ain't ready. They're just not ready. They want to look and sound like what's popping instead of being themselves, man. So, I commend artists that I tell them, don't make records, make history, be yourself and try to evolve. And of course we got influences from different arenas and different artists and regions and stuff like that. But I think one of the reasons why Drake is doing it to that level is because he's like a hybrid artist, where it's like it's his singing plus his MCing all together, combined with everything like that, and people check for him. So that's the thing right there. Doesn't mean there's going to be like 20 million other Drakes coming out of Canada. You know what I'm saying? It's like it
sounds like people are trying to sometimes. So that's the one thing too. Stop biting. People be biting too much, man. Like,
biting's accepted today, bro.
I know. It drives me crazy, man. I don't understand it.
We just talked about. Listen, if you don't know your history, if you don't know if you're not a student, you're not really going to respect the art form.
Yeah.
Understand what I'm saying? You're not going to respect the art form. Like Mike Tyson, people look at him and you look at Mike Tyson's greatest hits, his greatest knockouts. But he was a student of Jack Dempsey. He was a student of, like, Sugar Ray Robinson. Like all them ill boxers from back in the days, Mike was watching them, understand? And he learned a lot from them, And it's like, like when Eminem won his Grammy, one of the first people he thanked was Cool G Rap. You know what I'm saying? Just for the inspiration, because he was studying them, So that's the thing right there. Cats study stuff now, but a lot of times too, they don't study like the history of where the music came from.
For sure, definitely. I just think
the crazy part is what's going to happen when styles change. If you don't have a foundation, you know what I'm saying?
The walls tumble down, bro.
Yeah.
pretty much. You gotta build that foundation up strong. It's just like, I don't know, just people. I think it's a compliment to imitate somebody or to see what they do and reproduce something that's kind of similar to it. But straight repetition, I'm just like not feeling it.
Guess what? It's accepted now, right? And on top of that, up and coming MCs and this generation here, they're conditioned not to care about what happened back then. It's not even kids' fault. It's not even their fault, man. They've been mentally conditioned and programmed not to care about what happened in the past. You feel me? If it wasn't for shows like yours right now, you know what I'm saying, like the underground college shows and the underground joints like that, we wouldn't really have that foundation that we need. So this is imperative to me. You feel me?
I feel you, bro.
And it's like these kids, they're programmed not to care about certain things like that. So I don't even blame the MCs coming up. They're doing the best they possibly can, but it's up to us to lead by example, not by preaching,
yes,
but just by doing certain movements. For me to be the age I'm at right now, at the caliber I am right now, I'm like a Bernard Hopkins up in here, this album, so I think I did my thing with Cardi, like rhyme for rhyme. I think with Rich Kid, I held my own. I think with Adam Bomb, Classified, Socks, Edge, you know what I'm saying, Coogee Rap, Sadat X. I think I still show that I think you still hear the integrity.
Oh yeah.
In my music, So
100, man.
Yeah, man. So.
It's a good album, man. We're definitely happy to have you still recording and still, producing music out there. Because for all the Maestro fans, I know this album was highly anticipated for sure. People have been, talking about it for a while. So it's a good thing to have it out there and in people's hands, and we're gonna keep it in people's ears for sure.
Bless, man, and we're gonna continue growing, and call me next time. Let me hear what your favorite track is next week. You know what I mean?
All right, my brother.
All right.
Much respect for the interview, and we'll definitely catch up soon.
My man.